Today's question, Ray, I'm a copywriter. How do I get clients now? This is a very timely question. Whether you're a new copywriter and you're looking for your very first clients and you need them now because you need income now, or perhaps you're an experienced copywriter and you've experienced a slowdown in business. You're in the famine part of the famous feast or famine cycle. What do? I've got 3 ways you can get clients now, and let's jump right in with number 1. The number 1 way of getting clients now is what I call the open agenda method. This is where you look in your contacts, your address book, your phone, and you call with an open agenda. What I mean is, you've experienced this. People call you with a hidden agenda. They're like, hey, I haven't talked to you in 20 years, but I wanted to catch up, see how you're doing. How's your kids? How's your family? By the way, I have a unique opportunity. I have a friend who's a millionaire. We're looking for some sharp people in your area who want to distribute vitamins to their friends and family. It's a unique opportunity for your whole family. Nobody wants to talk to that person. That's a hidden agenda. The open agenda goes like this. You call this person, and yes, I'm suggesting you call them. I want you to deeply personalize it. Call them and just say something like this. Dr. Fred, it's your old buddy Ray. I'm calling with an agenda. I'm looking for a favor. As you know, I'm a freelance copywriter. My business is writing words that sell stuff for people, and I'm looking for business. So I'm just wondering if you know anybody who might need some help with their advertising or marketing. And if you don't, that's cool. That's my agenda for the call. And maybe they'll pause for a moment and say something like, I don't know of anybody, or I'll think of it and I'll get back to you, or whatever they say. But you've put your agenda right out front. Now you can talk about other things. How are they doing? How is their family? How is their business going? What's their life like? What are they doing for fun? What are they excited about? What are they worried about? And this is genuine conversation I'm talking about. You're not trying to maneuver them back so you can close a deal with them. Normally, about half the conversations I have like this, they will immediately start talking to me about someone in particular, often themselves, or in the other half of the conversations, they'll say, sure, I'll absolutely do that. And then I will urge them to get in contact with me as soon as they think of someone, because I'd really like to help their friends. And that's it. That's the open agenda contact method. For some of you, it's going to be very unsatisfactory because there's no here's how you close the deal on the phone right then. Do you really like it when somebody pressures you to close a deal out of the blue? No, neither do I. So let's do unto others as we would have them do unto us. Method number 2. This is what I call the Lifelight Method. This is where I'm going to ask you to take your contacts list and maybe even go into your Facebook or wherever you socialize online and look at the names of your friends and see who the Lifelight shines on. This is going to sound a little too woo-woo for many of you. And if you don't believe the woo, then just bypass it. Think of this as your subconscious mind highlighting someone to you that you need to talk to for reasons you don't consciously know, but your other than conscious mind does know. So that's the Lifelight. The Lifelight seems to shine on that name. It leaps off the page at you. You think, oh, there's Joe. I haven't talked to Joe in quite a while. I feel like I need to talk to him. The other way you might have the Lifelight on someone in your life is you're not looking through a list of contacts. They just pop into your head. These are the best Lifelight contacts of all. It may not be a big life situation emergency. It may be a question they have about their business or their life, or they just need some feedback, or they need a sounding board. I've had some of the most amazing conversations just based on this intuitive or spirit-led or life-directed, however you want to look at it, moments of somebody jumping to mind and me responding to that prompting and just following up on it. And often it results in us doing business or them recommending someone that I can do business with. But I want to be really clear. In all 3 of these methods, we're not attached to the outcome of you signing a client. We're attached to connecting with the person and making a real contribution in their life. And we set aside the potential for business until after our initial purpose is accomplished. And you might say, well, that seems like a small difference and maybe you're just kidding yourself. If you're kidding yourself about that, this won't work. So it's weird. You have to not care whether it works or not to get you business in order for it to work to get you business. Method number 3. Now, this is a much more intentional communication system. I've got a whole training I'm developing on this right now, but I will walk through it quickly for you. You can use this starting today, and it will get you business if you walk through it completely, thoroughly, and the way I instruct you to do so. I call this the zero resistance client creation method. Now let me deal with something right up front. You're saying to yourself, maybe, client creation. You're not creating people, are you? No, but I'm creating a client relationship. And a client relationship, by the way, is different from a customer relationship. A client is someone who is under your protection. And admittedly, I'm going to go through them very quickly today. There's more depth to get into, but today, just 7 quick steps. Number 1, contact. This is where, however it happens for you, you see someone's name or you have someone's name on a list, you call them, preferably, or you text them or you Voxer them or however you get in contact with that person on a normal basis. Now, what do you say? This is step 2. You have a conversation with them. And I would start the conversation like this. Hey, Steve, I'm so glad you agreed to talk to me. It's been so long since we talked. I want to know everything. I want to know how you're doing. I want to know how business is going. I want to know what's happening with your family. And you recall some details from your last contact with them and let them know that you've kind of been keeping up with them on Facebook or what have you. Let them know you're truly interested. That's it. You just start having this conversation. You're not telling them your agenda is to get business, and you're not telling them your agenda is not to get business, because at this point, you don't have an agenda yet. You show up open to the conversation to see what develops. Step 3 in this process is connection. You're looking for connecting points that seemed charged with life in this conversation. They may start talking to you about business. They may get excited about something new they're working on, or they may be discouraged about how business is going. And if they know that you're in the business of helping businesses, for instance, they might start asking your advice. This is where I just stay curious and begin asking more questions. I'm not giving advice just yet. I just want to find these points of connection. And maybe it's not in business. Maybe you're connecting with them on a personal level. Who knows? Life happens. Connect on those points that are meaningful. Step 4 is to contribute. This is where you might feel the prompting to offer some ideas. And I would do that this way. Hey, Steve, I am a professional coach. I want to be clear, this is not coaching I'm about to do. But I have some thoughts that might help if you'd like to hear them. And if not, I'm not offended. We'll just move on. But would you like me to share? And if they say yes, then share some thoughts. Don't give them directives. That feels too controlling, and a lot of people respond negatively to that. And don't start coaching them, because you don't coach for free. Step 5 is what I call the Confront Coach. Confront Coach is simply where you're going to suggest to them something like this. Hey, Steve, I am a copywriter and a communication strategist for a lot of businesses. I help them overcome problems like this. I'm not selling you anything right now. I want to establish for you that that's what I do for a living, and that I charge $2,500 for an hour of consulting, or 90 minutes or 2 hours, whatever your rates are, for 90 minutes of consulting and coaching. I would like to make a gift to you of a 90-minute coaching experience. And there's no strings attached. At no point during this coaching experience will I ask you to become a client. I'm not trying to sell you something at this point. I don't know if or how I might be able to help you, but I think I can help you in this specific situation. And I'd like to offer you this gift of $2,500 worth of coaching. And all I ask is the following 2 things. Number 1, if you agree to do this, you show up and act as if you paid me $2,500 for this session. You expect that kind of value from it. And number 2, that you will show up on time and indistractable. You'll be ready to pay full attention and be open to coaching during the session. If you agree to those 2 things, I want to offer this to you as a gift. As I said, no strings attached, no expectation for you to become a client. Just 90 minutes of my best coaching, and this is what I promise you. This will be a coaching session you will never forget for the rest of your life. So what you're asking them to do is make an appointment to see you at your office, just like a physician would do. You're establishing yourself as a professional. You're giving them the guidelines for how to show up for this coaching experience. When the appointment is made, I don't chase after them to show up for the appointment. I show up 10 minutes early, and I stay until 10 minutes after the appointed time. If they're not there by then, I consider that appointment canceled and I move on. Frankly, I need a very good reason to ever reschedule. I don't chase them down and say, hey, what happened? Why didn't you show up for the appointment? I leave it to them to do that. You're going to be giving them suggestions about how to fix their copy problem, how to fix their marketing problem. And you're going to tell them what they need to do. You're going to collaboratively come up with a strategy or tactics. And then you're going to wait to see if they follow up. So when you finish your coaching session, your 90 minutes or 1 hour, whatever you choose to give them, I wouldn't give them less than an hour for these kinds of calls. 90 minutes is ideal. At the end of that time, you say, okay, so your action steps we've agreed are get their agreement, Okay, can you let me know the results of this by next Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific time, please? And they agree, yes, I can do that. Now you leave it up to them to follow up and let you know. And if they do, now you're at a place where you can perhaps create a client relationship with them ongoing. If they follow through and you feel good about everything that's happened so far, you may propose to them that you create a client relationship. In every case where I followed this set of steps and protocols, I have had a 50% or better closing ratio. This third system of mine is a little bit more in depth, but it works extraordinarily well. And I would encourage you to think about using it in your business. As I said, I am creating a full training on this system. That won't be available for a few months, so we'll let you know when it is if you're interested. Meanwhile, there is one more thing I wanted to share with you that is, I think, the secret weapon of getting clients now. This is how I would recommend you build your business, and this is what I would do today being August 18, 2022. This is what I would do today if I wanted my books full of clients by the end of next month, September 2022. I would find the biggest, best, highest quality live seminar, training, or event in my niche, my industry, and I would show up there and I would follow a process that I use at live events to meet with people, to get to know them, to learn what their problems, pains, and aspirations are, and to help them as much as possible for no pay and with no expectation of making a sale. But the way I go about this whole process almost always ends up creating 3 to 5 new clients for me at the event itself. And you might ask, what is this method? We just went over it. It's the zero resistance client creation process adapted for the live seminar, live industry conference environment. So you've got to be really elegant and careful about how you do this so that you are seen as a servant who's super helpful. You're enhancing the value of the event for the person who put it on or the organization who paid for it. And you're also enhancing the value of the event for the people you come into contact with. As we lead up to taking our certified copywriters with us to Funnel Hacking Live in Orlando, Florida, I bring that up because that's the very strategy I just said was my secret weapon. What would I do to get my business off the ground immediately? I would be planning to go to Funnel Hacking Live, led by my long-term friend, Russell Brunson. This is going to be the event of the year that you need to be at in order to learn the latest techniques that are working today in digital marketing and also to meet your next 5 clients. Certainly, there are 5 of them who are waiting for you to show up and help them with their copy and marketing. So if you'd like to be part of that and come with us and come to our one-day training, which is going to be a very expensive in-person training for one day, and also is going to be the basis for the upcoming course I'm developing, I told you about earlier, but you can get into that for free when you're part of our certified copywriters group. All the details on that you can find by going to rayedwards.com/CDRC. That's as in Certified Direct Response Copywriter. And I would love to see you there. I'd love to hang out with you at Funnel Hacking Live. We're going to all be hanging together. It's going to be a really fun time. Very educational, very profitable. And it's in Florida. So I hope today was helpful for you. If you got questions, put them below. Put them in the comments. Hit me up on the socials. I'm Ray Edwards everywhere. And until next time, may you live long and prosper. See ya in the next video or podcast. Bye, y'all.